What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Ready to Love Season 8, Dallas, Episode 2. So we start off with an elimination. You know, they left us with the whole cliffhanger of who was going to be Brandon or Habibi. Everybody knew Brandon was going home. Now, listen. I've heard a lot of people defending Brandon. Oh, he's probably a really nice guy. Oh, 6 months is not, if he married the same woman twice, maybe he doesn't have the same, baggage, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if you like it, I love it. But for a show like this, where people are looking for love, I just don't think he was ready for the type of commitment. I think you need to be figuring some things out. You got 6 months. You got 6 months you've been divorced. Maybe y'all was separated for 2 years. I don't know. But you got kids to process and a whole lot of stuff you need to do. Now, I heard Brandon make good money, so you be all right, child. Everybody that wanted your phone number got your phone number, okay? So the next day, we have the brunch. And so we see the people meeting up, eating, waiting for Tommy to get there. We see the little check-ins. You know how we got to see everybody do their little walk-up and all that good stuff. Child, listen. This crew, I just don't know about them. Let me get to my notes, honey. I don't know about this crew. So, Tommy gets there and let us know that it is a women's, have the power, women, not women's. Women have the power, and then there will be a man elimination, right? So after Tommy does his whole little speech, we're looking for love, I'm gonna help you in your journey, blah, blah, blah. We see a couple of conversations. So we saw Marvin talk to a few of the ladies. Listen, I'm gonna applaud Marvin for being open about his lifestyle. But it honestly seems like the only person that is interested and maybe that's not scared of the potential lifestyle sound like Unique might be a little with it, okay? She said some things in the ladies' lounge that let me know that it was more than just curiosity. I think Unique is all right with it. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Look, people who are into, I don't know if you kink or non-traditional ways of expressing themselves in the bedroom, that ain't my business. I can appreciate the fact that Marvin is confident in it, he stands in it, and he is unapologetic about it, okay? And there are women out there that they are down for it. You just got to find her. Sound like it might be Unique. I don't know. But he talked to a few of the other ladies, and they just, child, they ain't feeling it. Okay. We saw how BB talked to Tequila. He was like, is that her name? I'm gonna just call her T. He said that she is just with it. Like, she cool, they get along, and they just really click or whatever. We saw how BB talking to Sierra. Now, Sierra said, he a little quirky, but he remind me of me, and that's why I kind of like him. She gonna change that tune, but anyway. Then we saw Red try to have a conversation with Unique. Look, Red was saying, look, I felt some kind of way about the fact that you said I have a thought job. Like, I work hard to get to where I am, and I feel some kind of way about you reducing it to, oh, I just got a thought job. Like, I felt some kind of way about that. And she was like, oh my gosh, the biggest comedian in Dallas is making a big deal about thought job. See, here's the thing. Just because somebody is a comedian by trade doesn't mean they find everything funny. If you said it as a joke, then you should have said, I was just joking. I'm sorry that it offended you. But at no point in time did you ever say, oh, I was just playing. I was just joking. My bad. I didn't know you were going to get so offended by it. My bad. I never saw that. I didn't see that. Okay. Now, the flip side of that is once he expressed that to you, you still didn't. Because she even said, I apologize, and he's still mad. I never heard an apology. I heard an acknowledgement of what you said, but I never heard an apology for saying it. And again, that could have been edited out, but I didn't hear no apology. So then he was like, well, me and you kind of do the same thing. So if I'm a thought, that makes you a thought. And then, of course, he just called me a thought. Oh, my goodness. And she even said that in the ladies' lounge later on in the episode. He called me a thought. No, he didn't. He said, if I have a thought job and me and you do the same thing, does that mean you have a thought job? That's what he was saying. But it don't matter, child. They just don't click, okay? They just don't click, and that is what it is. So, moving on. Next, we have a group date. So, we have Habibi, we have Red, Habibi, and Phil with Kendra, Janelle, and Unique. So they're at like one of those like adult playroom areas where they got darts and they got that game where it's like bowling and football combined. I forgot what it's called, but I've seen it a few times. You know, one of those like little situations. Now, Tequila, I'm gonna just call that girl T because I know I'm saying her name wrong. Um, she tried to ask Phil, like, what was it about me that turned you off? And Phil was like, well, honestly, you know, you asked me questions about sex and I just wasn't comfortable with it, and I just felt like that was a little too soon. Like, I ain't really mad or nothing. It just felt some kind of I just didn't I really wasn't ready for that type of conversation. Um Janelle shows up late, you know, she makes an entrance. Now she shows up in some damn Louboutins red bottoms to do the playroom. You got Kendra, you know, in some, you know, fatigue, you know, some camo pants with a tank top. You have T in a sweatsuit, and here you come showing up in some damn Louboutin. I said, all right, I already see what kind of time you want. So when they kind of broke into little groups to play their games, Janelle was being very mean girl to Kendra because they were playing with Red, and Janelle had already said that she was feeling Red. But my thing is, see this what I don't like about this show, and I feel like I have to say this every single season. Y'all are here. It is 10 women and 10 men. The object of the game is to date everybody and find out who you like and who you don't like. I really don't like this whole I'm gonna mark my territory. He belongs to me. I don't appreciate. She was like, I don't appreciate. He picked her up in front of me and I didn't appreciate that. Girl, what? This is literally y'all second date. I mean, I don't know in what sequence all of this was recorded in, but if we're going in the order in which we are seeing things, literally y'all had the mixer, y'all had brunch, and now y'all are on a group date. You ain't even really had no serious one-on-one time with this man. I mean, maybe y'all been talking on the phone or whatever, but I just felt like that was a lot. And I felt like the energy you was giving Kendra was a lot. It was a lot. And I don't know. I like you, Janelle, but you was doing too much in that moment for me. And then you really did too much because at the end of the day, you walking off with Red because basically everybody ended up leaving and it was her and Red there together. And as they were leaving, she gonna say, her bag was fake. Mine's was real. She's, you know, but she's young though. See, I don't like women who feel like they got to put other women down to elevate themselves. Janelle, it was unnecessary. First of all, Red don't care. Men don't care about your bags being real or fake. The average man, one, wouldn't know. Two, don't care. The only time the average man care about whether your bag is fake or real is if he paying for it, okay? If he walking in Louis Vuitton and he is dropping stacks at the Louis Vuitton store, that is when he care about whether that bag is real or fake. If you just show up for a date with a Chanel and it got single stitching instead of double stitching, I promise you that man ain't gonna know. So for you to point it out and use it as like a dig against Kendra, I felt like that was real mean girl, Janelle. Very mean girl. And like I said, I like you, girl, but that was very mean girl. Well, I liked it, you. I'm joking. Anyway, so the other thing that came up at the date is that Habibi was talking to T. Well, first he was talking he talking to T? Yeah, he talked to T first. And he basically admitted to T that, you know, he cheated when he was out in them streets, you know, touring, doing his saxophone thing, that, you know, he basically cheated. And she was like, well, why would you cheat on your girlfriend? Oh, because she wouldn't give me head. But then he went on to say, but I was young then, and I'm not that person anymore, blah, 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 boo, boo, boo. And I was like, yeah, okay. Because later on, you were talking to Kendra, and you admitted to Kendra the same thing, that you're a cheater. Kendra was like, oh, well, check, please. And Kendra was like, I appreciate your honesty, but yeah, it's a no for me. T was like, I appreciate your honesty. I mean, that makes you more intriguing. See, that's the problem. You can appreciate somebody's honesty. That doesn't mean you got to sign up for their bullshit. Just because you appreciate somebody's honesty, it don't mean you got to sign up for their bull hockey. That's not what that means. Anyway, I feel like T got some other issues that go well beyond where I'm comfortable diagnosing. But suffice to say, girl, find you a good therapist. Okay, moving on. Is that everything I wanted to talk about there, child? Giving Kendra a hard time. Habibi. Oh yeah, Janelle wasn't giving Habibi no energy because she said he made a comment about her body off camera, and she really wasn't feeling it. Now later on in the ladies lounge, she wouldn't say what the comment was then, but later on in the ladies lounge, she did say what the comment was. He said something about wanting to suck on her tatas the next time he saw her. That is very rude, and it is inappropriate, and it's definitely not something that you say to somebody that you just don't know like that. Like, if me and you cool like that, we laugh and we joke, or we are at that point in our relationship that you know me, okay, but that's not. First of all, that was just crass the way you said it anyway. Like, you might have got away with it if you tried to put a little romantic spin on it, but neither here nor there, child. Neither here nor there. So then we had another group date. Aries invited some people over to her house. It was Sierra and Jessica, and then you had Quentin, Chris, and Herbert. Herbert was flirting with Sierra. They looked like they had a little flirt thing going on. They were talking about premarital sex. Sierra said, I do believe in test driving my car before I buy it. However, I am on this I'm abstinent right now. I've been abstinent for almost a year. And Herbert was like, look, I ain't saying that I gotta have sex before marriage, but I don't know how I feel about the 1 year situation either. But I don't feel like Sierra is saying she would make her next relationship wait. I feel like she was saying that in this moment, she decided that she was gonna put a pause on any type of extracurricular activity until maybe she was in a relationship. I don't get the impression that, because I feel like she ain't gonna wait another year. Okay, not the way she was flirting and that sexual energy that she was putting off. Okay. Quentin and Aries was talking. They was flirty, real touchy. You know, that seemed like to be a little spark there. And Jessica and Chris were talking. We found out that Chris does come from a family with arranged marriages. He said his parents' marriage was arranged, his brother's marriage was arranged, and there was even somebody for him, but he told his family that he was going to find his wife the traditional, well, not the traditional way, but he was going to find his wife on his own, and he didn't want to be in an arranged relationship. And he said, you know, his family wasn't very happy about that, but, you know, he sort of stuck to his guns. So I thought that was a very interesting conversation. So then we had a couple of one-on-one dates. We had Sierra and Habibi, and we had Lee and Quentin. Now, Lee and Quentin, they're both into fitness. You know, they're both personal trainers or whatever. And Lee said that she normally doesn't really date somebody that's in the same line of work as her. You know, it's just not something she normally does. And she asked him about that off the bat. She said, you know, sometimes, you know, I post pictures, you know, that's my line of work, but, you know, sometimes I get some comments in my DMs and people saying things in my DMs, and, you know, how do you feel about that? And he was like, I ain't worried about that, because, I mean, that belonged to me. I don't know, y'all. I don't like the way he said that. That hit me. I understood what he was trying to say, but the way he said it, the way it hit me, I ain't gonna say the way he said it, the way it hit me, I was like, And then later on, later on in the conversation, he also made comments like possessive type comments. Like, you know, I wouldn't be worried about as long as if I'm taking care of you in the bedroom and taking care of you, like, why I worry about what another man, you know, looking at. And then he said something else about the cooking or whatever. I don't know. I feel like Quentin might have some traditional male-female ideas. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. If you find you find a woman, the yin to your yang, there's nothing wrong with saying, I want this type of a woman. You got to find that type of woman. But I'm just saying, Lee, I hope you heard what he was saying. So then, I'm sorry. So then, Sierra and Habibi were talking, and Sierra was talking about her mom and how she talks to her mother every day. And he was like, you talk to your mother every day? She was like, yeah, Loretta, that's my girl. Loretta Young, she's still fine, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, oh, for real? Oh, so Loretta, da-da-da-da-da. Now, I don't know if a lot of y'all peeped that she corrected him when he was calling her Loretta. And she said, yeah, Miss Loretta, boom, boom, boom. Like, you going to put a miss on my mama name. Like, you don't know her like that, and you going to put some respect on her name. Did y'all peep that before we even got to the other comment? So then, she was talking about growing up eating crawfish, you know, that kind of thing. And she was like, yeah, you know, I learned how to eat crawfish at 6 because I got tired of waiting for my mom to pull the heads off for me. So I learned how to do it myself. She was like, you know, he was like, dang, how dare your mama do that? She was like, I know, right? He was like, your mama ain't shit. She was like, wait, what? And again, her total affect changed immediately. She was like, and in the ladies' lounge, she was like, I know he was playing, but I really didn't appreciate him saying that about my mama. Like, it was another way you could have said that. Yeah, we were joking, whatever. But you know, your mama ain't shit. Now she said in the ladies' lounge, she said that he was like, F your mama. But that's not what he said. He said your mama ain't shit. So then we get to the ladies' lounge and we're going through the tops, we're going through the bottoms. Red was at the bottom, Habibi was at the bottom, Quentin was sort of at the bottom. I think a lot of people said they wasn't really feeling, they didn't really get a chance to really get a good vibe off of Quentin. The tops, child, I don't even remember. It don't matter who the tops were because you know that goes week by week. But of course, T decides that she got to defend Habibi, right? And Sierra talked about her experience with Habibi. Janelle ended up talking about what happened to her with Habibi, and Tommy got mad. He was like, wait a minute, what? He said, what? He said, listen, when it comes to disrespect, I need to know immediately. Like, I'm not doing the disrespect. I'm not dealing with that. So I need to know immediately when these men are disrespecting y'all. Like, I'm not here for that. Like, I'm not cool with that at all. So I knew he was gone then. I said, it don't matter what else is happening. Habibi about to be out of here. So T is defending him. And Janelle makes a comment about, you know, I guess along the lines of, you know, her taste and, you know, and you know, T was like, you just mad because he don't want you. And she was like, girl, he my bottom. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you know, don't be mad because none of the men want you. That's all right. And her and T get into it, and T actually gets up like she about to advance. Now, what I find very funny is that Tommy ain't moved. Tommy ain't flinch. You know, whenever there's any type of skirmish, y'all ever notice how Tommy don't be moving? Tommy is like, listen, y'all can act the fool if y'all want to, but y'all know who signed y'all paychecks. Like, I guess he figured, like, y'all can act the fool if y'all want to, but you better not let nothing swing this away. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, they took her in the back, got her calmed down, came back out, you know, and they finished up, you know. Like I said, it didn't even matter. It didn't matter who said what. At the end of the day, Habibi was going home, okay? So they called Red and they called Habibi, and of course, Sierra had the pleasure of sending Habibi home. I know she wanted that. She was like, he talked about my mama. Let me be the one. Let me be the one. But they did talk to Red about, you know, basically, you know how they got to do. Step it up. The lady said this. The lady said that. So this week is going to be a women's elimination. And it's Tommy's choice. So Tommy's going to actually be sending people on dates. And it looks like this is where they're going to plug in the blind dates. Okay? I mean, they're going to plug in the people that... Because remember, it was only 18 people at the mixer. Which means that we know that 2 more people going to show up. Okay? Anyway, let me know what y'all think. I know it's late, but baby, we here now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.